There we go. That's the bracket. 1-0 versus LawLiet. Lin versus Happy. Plus the game for third. Plus the grand final. And it doesn't matter who wins what match. It's all gonna be awesome. As we saw 1-0. 3-0ing Happy. The Revenge of the Emperor can be quite fierce. All of the players here have $1,400 guaranteed. Every stage you advance doubles your prize money pretty much. If you win the game for third, that's $3,000. If you go into the grand final, that's $6,000. And if you win it all, that's $9,000 for you. Pretty damn sick, if you ask me. And we are getting ready for our first match. It's 1-0. He didn't lose a single map in the playoffs. Not one. As I get some results in here, who are you cheering for? Lin? I follow the law. Lin, LawLiet. Let's go, Lin. Very little love for the Undeads, but a lot of love for LawLiet. He always had tremendous games. He always had entertaining games. He always had innovating strategies. But what's missing is that big tier 1 title. He got so close. DreamHack, Grand Final. Rara Land, Grand Final. But there was always an obstacle in the way, and the obstacle being Happy. Today, he got to prove himself against the Necromancer. On the following maps, we start on Echo Isles, Amazonia, Concealed, Last Refuge, and Turtle Rock. Interesting to see Amazonia coming through. Again. Just like 1-0 did against Colorful yesterday. That's not the norm. Tidehunters banned, Twisted banned by 1-0. That's the most interesting one, I think. And now we'll see what we get on Echo Isles. The TP League Grand Final. A lot of people anticipated this day. And it will all come down to the performance of the day today. I think everybody can win the other here today if they're in prime shape. And if you're here in the top 4, you are in prime shape. There's no doubt about that. But who's the better? Who's the best? That's the big question here. As we are getting ready. LawLiet with his specialty Warden. It's kind of hard to prepare for him, isn't it? Because who plays like LawLiet? Nobody really. Lots of LawLiet fans in the chat. Had a little call with him. He felt confident. He sounded good. Wasn't 100% sure about all strategies, but this man has a game plan. And we'll see if 1-0 is ready for that. I think 1-0 in Night Elf vs Undead. Not necessarily the greatest. I think Happy is a lot better in that regard. And he might be a little stubborn when it comes to expansion plays. He always thinks, okay, that is my win condition. Let's go for it. Currently second best player in the world. The gap is narrowing. Happy lost quite some elo points thanks to the loss against 1-0. LawLiet with the biggest rise in elo points recently, making it up to top 7 after the slump in Doobie Engine or Wonders Cup. It's really impressive how he just flipped the switch, defeated 1-0 in the Show Cup match, which is the most recent match between the two. And that was a win for LawLiet. That was also a best of 7. Today it's a best of 5, so we'll see what we get. Usually the win percentage for 1-0 is pretty damn good. In their respective matchups, both are absolute beasts. Oh, 1-0 didn't make a lot of friends here, banning Twisted Meadows. Okay. As we're waiting for the Chinese to go in-game. Echo Isles can be Undead expansions. And for LawLiet, it can be Keeper or Demon Hunter, right? I think. That's where we're at the moment. A lot comes down to the early creeping, to the early presence. Undead win rates on Echo Isles dropped a little bit. They felt so confident, But since the introduction of the 12 o'clock expansion, there is a stalemate breaker now. Back in the day, when we had Echo Isles 1, it was always double expansion, and then all of a sudden you run out of money, Undead can sell some stuff, gets the shop control, and in the end, Undead wins. But now, with 3 extra gold mines and a lot more experience on the map, that's a little beneficial to the Night Elves, and it's kinda even. And I feel Night Elves learned to play around the Undead expansion tremendously. They got so much better as we're waiting for the games. Waiting for the game to start. LawLiet is king, tier 1 titles or not. His game against Moon yesterday, especially on Terrace and AZ, were god tier. I think all of these gamers have played games and maps that were absolute god tier. Lin against Moon, that hold on Concealed was outstanding Warcraft. So was LawLiet versus Moon in the Night Elf Mirror. So was Happy in a lot of matches. I've rarely seen a higher level of play in a Soul tournament than TP League. Gotta be honest, from group stage to playoffs, every single match was a banger. Thank you Chimpask for the 65-month resub. Thank you Morgoth for the 30-month resub. Abstract is back, 29-month resub. For whom the bell tolls with a 13-month. Silani with the 67-month. And Hitman, Hitmate with the raid. Thank you very much, man. Hope you enjoyed your ladder session. Lord Helmy with the 88-month resub. Forbidden month. Indeed. Shout out Hitman for the raid. Hope you can reclaim the NA Lul Cup throne. It's time. It's damn time. Maybe we got some join bugs? Not 100% sure. But yeah, if you need a little introduction to the players, 120 rose to the occasion when NetEase was introduced in China and GCS/WGL was introduced. He was in the final of the first 2 GCSs, was defeated by Infi and Fly back then, but all of a sudden there was hope. I guess new talent. New god tier talent. 120 was the outstanding one, claiming the world championship afterwards back to back. And he's always there. It feels like he can just flip the switch if he wants to play good Warcraft or not. Which seems a little unfair. Others have to fight and work so hard for it. For him, just look at the group stage. He got last place in the group stage. And was playing sloppy. And you thought, okay, maybe he's taking a little break. Quickman, thank you for the sub. But then there was playoff time, and he starts the playoff with a 3-0 versus Happy, and continues with a 3-0 over Colorful. This guy played against the best players in the world without dropping a single map. So maybe it's 120's momentum currently. Maybe he is unbeatable currently. As we have our first match of the final day of TP League. Off we go. Undead vs Night Elf. 120 vs LawLiet. Echo Isles to pave the way. As we have player cameras for LawLiet this time. Whew. High stakes. The highest stakes in quite some time. Since Rara Land, basically. When it comes to prize money, even higher than that. As we had $10,000 prize money, they have $20,000. Away we go, everybody. What's the plan? Is it Keeper? Is it Warden? We're starting with a bang. I told everybody to set their alarms because you don't want to miss this and you don't want to miss a LawLiet Warden on Echo Isles. I know he was torn between 2 heroes, what to choose, and he decides, okay, I stick with what made me famous in 2015 when I eliminated all the god humans from WCA with the Warden that nobody played until then. And now 7 years later, almost 8 years later, he's still the innovator. Away we go. Who makes it to the grand final? Who falls down into the game for third? Can 1-0 continue his rampage in TP League playoffs? Or will it be LawLiet in yet another grand final after DreamHack and Rara Land? As Infi is fiddling with production, there we go. Warden with an interesting creep. Usually when you play Warden, you go for the mercenary camp immediately. That's not the case. That's already a little switch up. And 1-0 also adjusting. Not selling the town portal. Not going for instant expansion. The man learned the lesson. And is LawLiet falling into a trap with that? Engine of War at the right-hand side, scouted immediately. How much damage can the Warden do? She decided quickly to go for Shadow Strike. You don't want to be harassed here at all. Or you don't want to be surrounded here at all. Tabakov, thank you for the Prime sub. And off we go. He sees 5 Acolytes. Not willing to spend any mana. You have limited Moon Juice in the beginning of the game. It is a resource. It's always tempting to burn through your mana, immediately go to the Moon Wills, but then what? What's the follow-up? If the Warden is getting surrounded here, that's a problem. Shadow Strike number 1 used and LawLiet's creeping is probably the best in the world. But can he do it without an Engine of War? That was under pressure. And so is the entire build of LawLiet. I don't think he can prevent level 2. Needs a well-timed Shadow Strike. Wisps are coming in for, I was about to say money detonate, but quick as he is, LawLiet with the steal, very important. And that's level 2 if he detonates. He's still a little conservative. Here we go. 1-0 moved the skeletons away. That could have been a 4-skeleton detonate here. And now LawLiet got to be a little careful. Ghoul saved, all right. And is that level 2? I don't think so. Ooh, huge steal. And that's usually not allowed. With Coil against Shadow Strike, you do have the upper hand. Usually. When it comes to damage. But alright, this is just a little bit of a delay. Very aggressively, 1-0 goes towards the marketplace. With ghouls, of course, you can creep aggressively. That's level 2 finally, but also time for the Warden. 2.5 is close. But the Ancient of War on the right-hand side is not doing work. And I think both got little successes. The Acolyte stopped the Ancient of War creep. Warden stopped the level 2 for a bit. And LawLiet is a tiny bit too late with the harass. Full mana again. Is he willing to invest the Shadow Strikes for some kills? Still has a town portal, boots, staff, lots of mobility. Gotta use that now. Second Necropolis already there. He doesn't want to be harassed in the economy of Acolytes. And that's a smart play. For a Warden play of LawLiet, relatively tame. As again, the creeping is quite disrupted. But now he's getting there. And now he's getting towards level 3. What's 1-0 doing in the meantime? DK harass with ghouls in the main. Will he find him? And will he be able to steal this? So far? Nope. It feels like a little bit of wasted time. Claws +9 on the Warden, 2.7. He was waiting for the ghouls. But can't find his opponent. Can't stop level 3. Tier 3 is unfolding for the undead. That's the scary part with Ghoul Frenzy and Destros. Will you be able to stop this? 4 archers in the Berserker. And as the lores are coming up. 1-0 claims a lot of experience in the middle of the map. These unique camps at Marketplace and Shop. But LawLiet wanted exactly this and he's ready for his infamous harass. Not decided if he goes for Blink or Fan of Knives yet. Engine of War is in position for the north. This is very, very even. No big attacks. Engine Protector. LawLiet knows what's coming. And that's the big push. With Ghoul Frenzy, Fiends and Destroyers. Will he be able to hold? He's only at 40. Needs another Moonwell. 27 supply. What a fragile build this is. Item. Ring of Protection, not the greatest, but I guess against Focus Fire, wearing protection is not the worst. 3.4. So far, the ghoul timing itself has not been delayed. No, I think 1 ghoul dead, or maybe 0. But this was also not the power spike of the Warden. The power spike of the Warden is unfolding now. Acolyte killed, Shadow Melt, annoying. Takes 1-0 off the map because he knows Shadow Strike will be ready in a bit. What's he going for? That Acolyte. Should be safe though, with the statue right there as a caretaker. Oh, don't tell me the Warden is blocked. Warden is not moving out. Ah, there it goes. Okay, I was worried for a second. Lich is out. How far would you want to creep him? Town Portal is gone. That was sold for extra resources. And LawLiet queues the tier 3 now. Still so fragile. Feels like something went horribly wrong in LawLiet's build. As everything is so late. Plus 14 Warden, what a threat. Moonwell is available, but not fully. The second Engine of War, of course, cutting into resources. 2 Acolytes down, that's expensive. But 1-2-0s at the tavern. Can't afford a Naga currently if he wanted to go for a Naga push. Because, of course, replenishing the Haunted Goldmine is way more important. Next Shadow Strike. Oh, careful. Blinks away. There was a lot of HP. And now production is ramping up. Oh, ouch! That's nasty creep jack by 1-2-0. Finds him with the Nova. That was one of the few remaining creep spots on the entire map. LawLiet salvages it kinda well. The Berserker is dead. That was a good experience. As we get level 2.2. Warden though. There's only 500 mana in the Moonwells. Sold the ring. 500 gold. No panda. 4.8 though. Is that enough? Without fan or knives. This spell doesn't go through. He has to fight with Rejuve. He has to fight with the AP. And he's intercepting reinforcements in the middle. Can't go up to 50 if he loses that. Moonwell might need to replenish it. This is a super decisive fight. Thanks to the Fiend in the middle, the Warden goes up to 5. A very different approach by the Warden in general, right? Not the ultra aggression on the DK throughout the entire game. This is a less than 5 minute level 5. That's insane. And the Care Bears are ready. One to 0 knows this is the wall that I can't break. Let's expand instead. But the Warden is not getting weaker at this point. Nice Shadow Strike. The coil for nothing. As we settle on around 40. There was a lot of Acolytes, the Fiend in the middle. And the Ghouls. 1-2-0. It looked like a powerful timing, especially with the Creepjack bottom right. But LawLiet not even using his army to defend. The Warden and the AP is enough. And Archers, Dryads. Can't be Nova'd, of course, so they are roaming the map. Looking for stragglers. Coil Nova was up. LawLiet playing this to the very edge. Expo cancelled. Oh, I just noticed I didn't disable the delay. I will fix that after the game. And again the Fiend. Is the poison damage enough? 215 gold. We have an Abomination very, very early on for 1-0. It's a little more subtle stepping, but the DK is in range. And LawLiet does what LawLiet does best. Warden Harass. No retrain. We've seen yesterday by Kaho that Fan of Knives can be very good in these fights. But Shadow Strike, I still think it's better for exactly that purpose. Every Shadow Strike is basically a kill. One of the Obsidian statues not out on the map. We see an adjustment by 120. Going for Death Pact. Oh, careful now, LawLiet. Little bit greedy. Works out. And the Ghoul falls as well. Invo Potion goes to the Lich. He got a tanky A-bomb in the front. Damage, not that great. It's a lot about shop control, of course, as we are still on Echo Isles. Pendant Claws, not bad. But also probably not game deciding. Rinse and repeat. Lina Zee, thank you for the sub. Or Linnaeus. 5.5. Can he get to Avatar? That is absolutely necessary. It feels like 120 just can't really attack where he wants to. A whole different game. The big... Oh, careful. The big push with Frenzy basically gone. And this base setup is so beautiful. Engine of War, Engine Protectors, Moonwells. Warden in trouble, gets nuked. Needs a potion fast. And the redo, of course. Enjoy the redo while it lasts. On Friday, it'll be gone. With the new patch arriving. Off we go. DK needs a death pack last second. What a brilliant, brilliant choice. And LawLiet, did you not calculate this? He did so far, it seems. Very little money used on items as well. You don't see potions at all. It's just redo. That could have been the game right there, if not for Death Pact. Wisely deciding that it's time for that spell and you can skip on Aura. This base defense also makes it kind of weird for LawLiet to engage. There is Coil Nova, always gotta be careful. Blink is ready and dodges the coil with it, beautifully done. It really feels like LawLiet's at the top of the game. Thank you for the 350 donation. 2 days NFL playoffs, 3 days high-level Warcraft Dream Weekend. Regards to all of you. Crunch time, says Knusper Hoden. Thank you for the sub, for the dono. Oh. Blinks away again onto the DK, always and ever. There's another Invo Potion. And 120 is just grinding his teeth at this base. It's still nighttime. Moonwells are replenishing. And this army is looking better and better. No expansion on the back of this. For 120, for LawLiet there is. He feels comfortable. Bear falls. Yeah, he needs some experience. He needs the high-level Coil Nova. This is a masterclass defense by LawLiet so far, but slowly but steady, Moonwells are running dry. He knows he has to be a little more conservative now that daytime is upon us soon. If only he had a fan now, but he goes for the DK. Straight up DK. But you know what? The A-bombs are not only big tanks and spreading disease cloud, they're also, at this stage of the game, good heal and mana potions. It's really hard to break. Wisps are moving out. Is that a sign for 120 that something is happening in the south? 58 pop. And things will only get better from here. Warden 5.6. Not making big progress, but the statues are running dry, and that's a problem. 120 switching it up and goes wagons. A rare sight. And maybe a little desperate too? Exactly, we see it in the overlay. LawLiet not even supply stuck. Always a bear at the right hand side for rejuvenation. That second base might turn out genius. DK positioning, very good. Always far behind. Don't want to be nuked anymore. And a new statue is arriving, but 2 statues are also dry. This push, this siege, is lasting already for, what, 5 minutes? As we jump into reinforcements. He sees the wagon pretty much immediately, and this is the moment to push out. Bear's in position. A-bomb very, very hurt. Warden has a heal potion. No invul though. Bear falling. A-bomb saved for now. He wants level 6. That's clear. That's the potion consumed. But I don't want him. He should jump on the wagon, and that's exactly what he wants to do. One blinks away. Clutch blink. But how to get back? Level 6 Avatar TP out, and the wagon was destroyed. 1-0 down to 48. Expo running. Massive lead. Warden 6. What a big win for LawLiet. With 2 bases. With one of the best ultimates in the game. And still so much Moonwells. What a hold. Was he even breaking a sweat? I don't think so. Not much. He knew exactly how far to take it, where to position, when to dive, what to shadow strike. But this game is not over as 1-0 realizes there's a tree up. Nature's Blessing is ready. No TP. One archer falls. All right. Not the end of the world. And Warden pushes back. Again, onto the lich. Every single unit that dies will be turned into a spirit. Away we go. Coil Nova again. But the Warden is always ready, despite shop control. I don't know how you want to take this as if you're 1-0. This might be the first map in the playoffs that he's losing. Happy wasn't able to. Colorful wasn't able to. The only thing that can bring him back is a dead Warden. Let's look at... Oh, the heal scroll value is insane! And there are undead heroes on the menu now. Not much remaining. He got... Oh, he took such great care of that shop. Got the heal scroll at the perfect timing. Got the dust against the burrowed fiends. And the Dryad positioning is fantastic. I am very, very sure that this game is going towards Korea. If one hero falls, that's certainly the end. Not too many... Oh, Kolnova! Invul potion is ready, and there we go! DK kill level 7. And that, my friends, is game and the first lost map for 1-2-0. Look at this. Not even too impressed with his own performance, but this was a Warden masterclass. Sip of coffee. Refueling for game 2. LawLiet shows again that he is, without a shadow of a doubt, the greatest Warden player of all time. I was a little surprised seeing how the Warden was played. No instant harass on the DK. Also 1-0 switching it up big time by having no expansion at all. The first Shadow Strike was really big. And that's how we start the final day of TP League. Guys, I will disable the delay, which I had on for the ESL Meisterschaft, and then we'll be right back without delay for game 2, which is Turtle Rock. So don't go anywhere. You won't even notice. This is 1-0 for LawLiet against 1-2-0. This is one step further towards the grand final, where $6,000 are guaranteed for the winner. Our second map is Turtle Rock, and let me tell you, there's a Warden again. 1-2-0 under pressure now. He has to react to this play, and there's a lot of cheeky plays possible here with an early red spot. This is what LawLiet did in the group stage. And 1-2-0, how do you punish it? Same hero composition as before. Map 1 is over and we got 2,500 viewers. That is freaking awesome. DK instant harass as he realizes there is a Warden again. But last hit again goes towards the Warden. It feels like LawLiet is just a little more awake than his opponent so far. Getting blocked. That's of course a couple of hits that you don't want to take from an Engine of War. This guy packs a punch. And another last hit. That's 1.9. If he takes out the turtles, that's level 2. And the first Ritual Dagger has already been used. So far, all sign points towards a LawLiet victory. Can he get level 2? There was a deny. Wisper's ready. Always for the dead. And he gets the turtle! Oh my god, LawLiet out of his mind. 1-0, a little greedy. His level 2 is delayed by a lot. Everything goes well for the Korean Night Elf God. Tier 2 on the way. Tremendous start, but not the end of the world for 1-0. His strength are still coming, just makes it a little harder for himself. Mana is a little bit of an issue. HP at 50%. And this should be level 2, or is it? Yeah, he gotta invest the coil this time. It's still not level 2. One Wisp is level 2, but that's about it. Boots available. Very early purchase. We don't see a Hunter Soul yet. That would be the time now. Double slippers. Not that lucky. Tier 2 is about to finish and 1-0 can play a Naga with the Ghoul push, but do you really want to do that against the Warden when the Naga is so squishy? I doubt it. So squishy because she can't get coiled, of course. HP wise, she's pretty fine. No greedy, risky red spots just yet. That was group stage stuff. Last hit, item, claws. Items are helping LawLiet quite a bit, to be honest. Shadow Strike again, and this is the play that we expected on game 1 already. But with Aura unlocked, it's not that bad. Good blocks on both sides. Ghouls delay the Warden, Archers delay the DK. Another Shadow Strike, might be the kill here, but he can calculate this better than I. And the dust settles on even levels. Almost even supply. Of course the tier 3. A little later by LawLiet. On Turtle Rock, are you willing to go into another hero? I don't think so. Wow, creeping the turtles really early. That costs a bit in repair resources, but imagine a big mana. Big healing, not too bad. Against Coil Nova, a little bit of extra health is never wrong. And 1-0 is not switching up too much. No expo, no crazy creep routes. So far, so standard. Warden jumps in. Coil Nova is locked in though. Another steal for 3.2. Delaying progress on DK again. Same as on the Lich. And ghouls are hurt. Oh, Nova. Not enough. Always the right amount of care. Has the big potion. Is it time to commit to that now? The big ogre is up for grabs. Item. And of course the ward. Yeah, 1-0 didn't see that turtle creep coming. No one did. No one does that. Oh, Engine of War, maybe a little too far forward. Gives up on the Magi. Dust settles as level 3 DK is also around the corner. Stealing that XP is basically impossible against Coil Nova. Invo Potion ready. Talisman unlucky. But that's a big boost in resources. That accelerates the push a little bit. Oh, hola! Creeping doesn't go as planned. And so far they try to negate each other. Fiends, kinda slow. Another steal right there. Shadow Strike is ready in too. Where's the DK? No, they're ready for the rescue. As I think he has the creeping under control now. Same strats as before. Tier 3 on 120 with the Ghoul Frenzy. An Orb, which is online already. And Dryads first into tier 3, both 1 base. The times where everyone thought 1 base is a clear undead win are over. Level 2 blink, off we go. Not onto the Acolytes, rather onto Ghouls. Slowing down the push again. And no second Necropolis this time. Feels like 120 wasn't too threatened. And Warden has no staff this time, needs to blink away. Creeping is stopped a bit. This will not help in the defense. And the Warden is far away from the main. No AP this time. It's only at 1/3. Feels like 120 is a lot faster compared to Echo Isles. Dark Ranger 3rd for the silence. You don't want that blink game anymore. This will slow down the Lich, of course. And now it's up to the Dryads to hold the fort. And the AP made it up. Second AP up. Wow. Okay, I was wrong. The AP is indeed up. Push during daytime. Can LawLiet survive the daytime? Onto the Lich. No silence just yet. And no death pack because the DK is not level 4. Hunter's Hall falls, but lures are up. You can still go for bears, right? Double AP though. How do you break this base? And he's creeping in the meantime. And this is what sets LawLiet apart from every other Night Elf in the world. These cheeky moves. He did the same on Echo. There's still an item up for grabs, and this frenzy push is just stopped by Ancient Protectors who stand true to their name. And it feels unbreakable. Is there a faster switch? Is it time for A-Bomb's wagons again? Warden has an orb. Sees an expansion and still tough to hold. This army is spread all across Turtle Rock. We have a staff now. Warden can go back. Sees the expansion. Hola, a little late maybe. Invest the time. That's a handful of seconds where the Warden is not at home. But the APs are exactly designed for this, to buy more time. Scroll of the Beast is a devious item in the hands of 120. Expo cancelled. Moonwell also gone. LawLiet can't build any army. He's super short on lumber. Did 120 find the way? He's investing his ghouls now onto this APs, but the damage is good. Warden is coming back, 4.6 and full health. Very little mana though, but it's 2 ghouls about to die. Coil Nova, careful, potion available. Can't dodge the coil, but Reju is up as well. But this was big damage. These Moonwells are expensive because of course they have great utility. They heal, they replenish mana. Imagine you introduce a building now into Warcraft 3 with patch 1.35. Says, oh, a building that can restore your health and HP. People would be up in arms. Warden has an issue. There is mana now. There is HP. But the potion is still on cooldown and there's more Coil Nova. Nice blink. And the APs, he still holds on to these APs. Needs more lumber though. Master Bear training is finished, as well as the Dispel upgrade. When can he push out? Still at 50, both of them. 120, he doesn't want to crack him here. He only wants to buy time for an expansion. Ideally, you kill a handful of fiends here, but that's not the case. The Destro in the middle of the fight. That's not where it's supposed to be. Warden dead! And this wasn't happening on Echo Isles. You can shake LawLiet. You can see LawLiet shake his head a little bit. 4.9 Warden gone. Is a revive there? Does he have enough lumber for the revive? as the floodgates seem open now. Yeah, Warden is back. But this push is so powerful. He cancels the expo again, investing the time. Moon Juice, very little. First AP down, more Moonwells down. He's willing to fight this. He needs 1 kill for 5. Is that enough though? I don't know. The undead pressure seems a bit too high at this point. It's nighttime. That's helping. He survived the scary, scary daytime where Moon Juice is not regenerating. But he's losing yet another moon. Well, he can't break the 40 pop. And the APs are gone. Lots of mana invested again for 5, but finally he got it. Archer's coming in, but that's just fodder. Rises up the DK and Lich. Of course, silence can be used to prevent the blink. Maybe that's what happens there. Oh. Sorry, couldn't skip the ads anymore. Thank you, Torben Dietrich, for the Prime sub. 1 AP to hold this bush. But this army is nothing. Slaughters more archers. Used as a decoy. I think at this point, only Avatar can save LawLiet. He's holding on to dear life just as he did on Echo. But the situation is a whole lot different. 17 supply ahead. Warden far away from 6. And still, supply blocked. He's desperately trying to get the Moonwells up. A-bombs are coming in. No disease cloud just yet. But there will be in a bit. And this army is pathetic. 1-0 striking back on map 2. Not folding after the defeat on Echo Isles. Level 4 DK. And that keeps him safe. Yep, with Death Pact. Coil immediately. He saw this one coming for a long time. And the damage just is not there. I don't think the Dark Ranger impact is too crazy. The one silence might have gotten the kill, but afterwards, I think this is the end as the Warden falls for the second time. GG! 1-0 takes map number 2. And we have an even best of 5 settled at 1-1. One to 0 gets the momentum back on a pretty good undead map. The neutral ground was Echo Isles. That's the map that no one picked. That's the map that was left alone in the end. So where do we go now? Amazonia. The #1 Night Elf map. The map where 1-0 felt so desperate that he went for tower pushes, which is unheard of for undeads. Not the map you want to play at. But maybe he finds the way. Maybe he has a new idea. He didn't veto it. He rather vetoed Twisted Meadows. And there must be big reasons for this. Can LawLiet keep it together? He knows he can do it. He did it already. But he's a very emotional player. When things don't go his way, he's a momentum-based player, that's for sure. And you gotta get that momentum back. It's good that after a loss, you end up on your favorite map. And since he won game 1, if things go 1-1-1-1-1-1, his map will be last. Or 1-0 takes it back to back. As we said plenty of times, 1-0 sometimes needs a map or two to really get online. To unleash his full force. Is that the case now? There were not too many flaws in this game. Maybe some join bugs again. Give me some time. Thank you, Fast Expand, for the sub. 1-1 indeed. Happy versus Lin afterwards. Then the game for third. And then the grand final. You don't go anywhere today. You stay here. Until the early evening hours. And then you can do whatever you want. But no one is allowed to leave early until this tournament is over. And the game is up. Amazonia. 1-0. What's your solution to Alphazonia? And what's the hero for LawLiet? Demon Hunter? Keeper? Warden again? Light is always leaning far forward. Demon Hunter it is. Okay, it's a switch up. This Demon Hunter will have instant level 2 after the creep spot, fast level 3, and then it's pummeling time. This map is so small, leaves no room for errors. Might be a chance for some ghoul pushes because the map is so small, the timing hits so sharply. But yeah, it's basically instant level 3 if not contested. Double shop. That's helpful. Oh, will he... Not triggering any lightning shields. Okay. Not disrupting the camp thus far, but now he is. No one. Oh, the Purge on the Acolyte. No lightning shield. Huge move by 1-0. This lightning shield usually accelerates the creeping by a lot. Okay, second try he got it. Not as big as I thought. Salvaged well by LawLiet. He had a lot more pressure yesterday. 1-0. Oh, feels a little wonky. There we go. Uses the lightning shield trick himself. And that's also fast creeping. Can't deny. Doesn't deny. At least not for now. Gloves of Haste. Kinda nice. Claws of Attack. Really good. Okay. After the little Acolyte harass, or this little Acolyte annoyance, dust settles for now, but the mid game, the mid positions are important. LawLiet is pulling the creeps away to only creep the Berserker. Amazonia as always, or has been figured out for the most part. Slippers now. Great attack speed, a little bit of extra damage, but 1-0's army is coming for the level 2.5. Both are creeping very, very fast, but the Demon Hunter, he's checking out the north. What did you do? Where are you? Are you coming with a tower push? No, no, no. Not here in TP League. These times are over. So many ghouls. Isn't this pretty low lumber? And he's getting caught. There's no TP. Okay, LawLiet wanted to creep this camp as well. He's not ready to fight against so many ghouls. Demon Hunter got the boots. He can get some damage in for some coils. Oh, excuse me, there is only one. But level 3. This is a brilliant creep route. By 1-0. Such a fast level 3. One of the biggest items on the map. And prevents the Demon Hunter from getting it himself. That's some next level. There's still plenty of room for LawLiet to get level 3, of course, reliably. But not preventing the leveling, not going into the middle. That's some smart plays. $10 donation by Mads Boost. Thank you for the 10 euros. Thanks for so much great content. Dude, my heart blossoms seeing this game and you guys watching this in masses. Naga second. Yep, there we go. Oh, this is so powerful. He's accelerating so hard. LawLiet gets the last hit, important. No more coils and not too many ghouls this time. But he wants the big null. That's clear. Demon Hunter's trying to distract, but the null moves back. This is not the game that LawLiet wanted. Naga second now here as well. Might be a liability in the late game. DK takes home the Cobalt. 1-0 with the strong comeback into this. Claims the Merc camp, claims the Cobalt, claims the second Cobalt camp. This is incredible play on Amazonia. Demon Hunter stopped in the tracks. Naga another late game hero. How do you bring this back if you're LawLiet? You need magnificent fights. But 1-0 gets the second mercenary camp as well. The movement on the map is stellar. Can't do it much better. Oh my god. Double aura. Devotion for extra armor, Vamp Aura for lifesteal for melee units, and there will be ghouls, I can tell you. This is amazing, amazing drops for 1-0, but he earned them. Because nobody is at that spot on the map at this time except 1-0. LawLiet can't follow the pace of 1-0 at the moment. Tier 3, quite far behind. 1-0 has all the advantages. I think there's no AP this time. Sold the Vamp Aura. Okay, doesn't see the value. That's interesting. But yeah, he needs a lot on tier 3 and he's arriving on tier 3 now. Yeah, so because he sold the aura, he can afford the Lich and Frenzy and the statue at the same time. LawLiet in the ropes. If things just go from here, 1-0 wins. LawLiet needs to be sneaky, tricky, surprising, and flawless to carry this home somehow. There's not going to be a panda. There's not going to be a keeper to help him out. And only a Wand of Mana Stealing. Also not too thankful. Lich Orb. You know what that means? That means Frenzy Push. No destroyers yet, but he doesn't need the destroyers because bears aren't there. Demon Hunter has to stall time. Oh, surrounded! And there is... Oh, staff is ready now. Coil Zap! And the Demon Hunter just falls. The staff wasn't there in time. What a major win. LawLiet, a smirk on his face, but you know on the inside, that's a whole different picture. That bear is safe, but loses his first hero. Not allowed at all. I said he has to play flawless. This was not flawless. A little too far away with the Naga. A second too late with the staff. Demon Hunter is back, getting nuked immediately again. 1-0 burning through his mana. There's very little to work with. Very, very little to work with. Moon Juice, empty. Potion, used. Scroll of the Beast, popped. And these Night Elf units are just disappearing. He's not facing Coil Nova anymore. Maybe a Coil. That was the last one. Anti-magic prevents him. And can the Reju work? Well, I need a Reju from a bear, that's for sure. Oh no! The Demon Hunter just dies again. It's game and 1-0 just like that. On LawLiet's map, takes the victory. Flawless. This creep route was insane. That's 50% of his win right there. Rushing across the map. Getting the mercenary camp. Getting these items, getting the second mercenary camp, contesting the kobolds. Oof. Back-to-back wins. For 1-2-0. One step away from one of the greatest grand finals in recent Warcraft. Tori, thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a good stream. Hope you all had fun. And I hope you have a wonderful Sunday. After game 1 was perfect by LawLiet. Something clicked for 1-2-0, and again it remains true. The first map is not the real 1-2-0. That only comes online map 2, map 3, and that's where it's at. So Warden on TR didn't work. Demon Hunter on AZ didn't work. Last Refuge is the next map. And what to be played now? Demon Hunter again? Warden, Keeper? That will dictate the game. His cat is playing the first map. No rest for the wicked. Match points. Grand final points. What? There's no altar. That's a tavern build. Don't tell me he's playing the Dark Ranger again. That felt flat on the face in the group stage. This is such a risk. No Warden, no Demon, no Keeper. It could be a Panda, theoretically. Beastmaster, maybe? Oh boy. What's it gonna be? We got the answer in 20 seconds. 1-2-0 knows. He sees the altar is late. This strategy was unveiled in the group stage. And I guess there were some things to improve. At first it looked okay. But then late game wasn't too great. Town portal sold. I think if it's a Dark Ranger, and it is a Dark Ranger. Desperate times, desperate measures. This has not been meta in years. This is a liability. You get rid of a lot of skeletons. You can play against the ghouls. Oh, but there's barely any control. No entangle, no mana burn, no slow, just a kill. And this is once again a great start for 1-2-0. He took some hits, for sure. But how do you level this now? How do you level the DR? Oh, I was about to say, this is Skeleton gonna get the last hit. Alright, cleans this up a bit. Ancient of War has to move over. Murlocs are there as well. 1-2-0 steps back, tier 2. I think you can't play an expansion if you're 1-2-0, because it's just fodder. And finds the illusions. The perfect drop. For vision, for creeping. For disrupting this very creep spot. LawLiet needs to speed things up. Gets agility. That's nice to have. Is 1-0 in time? Not for the Golem. It's only the illusions. Vamp Aura? Eh. Good later. Bad now. Lots of skeletons now. Also, mercenaries. Tier 2 at 60%. And I don't think there's a Hunter's Hall. Only an illusion in the base, he of course knows. Replenishment, yeah, replenishment potion running. And so far, this is defended. The first little push across the map doesn't really work. Expansion coming up, you need to play your Black Arrow advantage. You can go for silence, you can also go for life drain. It is a super powerful spell on later levels. But at the moment, it's very weak. Expo coming. This has to work. Double engine of wind. Happy fell to this against Kaho. Will 1-0 fall to this as well. Both negate each other. Double orb now with Black Arrow, Ice Arrow. Silence can be nice later. There's a very limited amount of this spell. And this, yeah, you as undead, of course you're used to playing against silence in mirror, but against night elf, not so much. Expo will come up, Nature's Blessing at perfect time. But you know, 1-0 will be there with ghouls and fiends and statues and destroyers. And how do you deal with the fiends? The skeletons have to do it. Big skeleton army. 5 level 2 skeletons, but no nuke. Elastic would be so sick. Can't get it. 1-0 grabs it up. The longevity of skeletons, kinda nice. And here's Fork Lightning. He has some tools to defend the ghouls, but there aren't too many. Careful with the Berserker. Nicely microed back for a bit, but the last shot kills it. Disrupt. Oh, big mana. Ooh, big mana potion. And no Demon Hunter against it. This is coils for days. So far, the strategy is working out. LawLiet hasn't decided yet. Life Drain or Silence. There's of course a nice synergy with Ice Arrow and Life Drain. If you slow a hero down, then use Life Drain. It's very, very hard to get out of range. And Life Drain 3 is one of the strongest spells in the game. But Silence is also very good against undead, so hard to make a pick. LawLiet keeping 1-0 busy. No third hero yet. Last hit important. LawLiet steals it. Item. Oh, that would have been so important. It's the True Shot aura. More range damage. Everything is ranged. And look at the damage here. It's ramping up. Double orb. Not bad at all. Lich provides with frost armor, statue ensnared for a bit. Can't go forward with it. There's no web yet. There's no web yet. There's 3 fiends and no web yet. Dark Ranger and Focus Fire has to TP out, but big damage is done. But still the frenzy push. There's no frenzy. Okay. Okay. And it's Life Drain. He decided to go for Life Drain. Frenzy now. Delayed for sure. No Tri-Hero. And the big mana invested. That was a huge win for LawLiet. Moving across the map. Exploiting the missing tools for 1-2-0. And of course, if you use Life Drain, you don't have to use too much Moon Juice. And you see? That is quite some damage. Bygone, thank you for the bits. But LawLiet still needs a big army. And the push is coming. Is he ready to hold? Invo Potion, Heal Scroll, both ready. But he's out of position. Ankh on the Dark Ranger. Oh, range upgrade. Will it finish? Barely. No tier 3. No attack upgrades. 1-0 is pushing. Pushing for the grand final. How much heavy lifting can the Dark Ranger still do? Skeletons coming, backstabbing. Nature's Blessing is there. But you have to defend Coil and Nova. Look at the DK melt! He lost half his HP in 3 seconds. There is a little bit of web now. So is Coil's. LawLiet just has to hold. Fiend down. Coil wasn't on cooldown. He has a heal scroll himself. Nova on the hippos. Okay, wisps are coming in. But that's a hold. Fork Lightning also. Amazing. This looks like a very good counter so far. How far are you willing to push LawLiet? Your expo is up. You don't have to close out the game here. Is he getting overconfident? Life Drain once more. He's so powerful. $70 supply all of a sudden. Huge lead. Oh, micro mistake. Think he morphed all fairies, at least for a bit. Next push. Almost no tools for 1-0. There's barely any ghouls. There's barely any units. There's no items. And away we go. This massive supply lead. Will it work out? Yeah, it looks like it. There's no chance. Would love to see boots on the Dark Ranger. Oh, that nuke! Healthstone has to be used. 1-0 keeps on fighting, but this Night Elf Armada looks to be too strong. And the Dark Ranger didn't work in the group stage, but here in the playoffs, where it counts, where your tournament life is on the line, she looks fierce. Massive, massive, massive lead. Time for the Hunter's Hall. Exactly. 1-0 is microing his little heart out. But it's so hard to beat the Fairies the Destroyer. Forgotten about. And Life Drain again. This DR is never hurt. There are some kills. It's 5 Fairies down. But the trades are still fine as everything is about to die for the undead. An overwhelming Night Elf mass. Fiends falling. There's the lab right there. Burrow doesn't do too much. Always the saves into flare form, which is super hard to kill because it's like 12 armor or something. Every click is a kill. What a dominant performance so far. He's feeding the undead heroes. It's close to 5-4. Don't underestimate this, but that's also the case on LawLiet's side. 8 fairies down can be easily replaced as the expo is running, and upgrades kicking in soon. Dark Ranger mana is a little bit of a problem. In general, mana is a problem for LawLiet. 2-1-1 build on the Lich. DK level 5. That's the tools he needs. Town Portal. Nope. TP. Unholy Aura. Very unthankful. The kiting game by 1-0 is strong. Can he get some upgrades in? Would love to see a defend upgrade. That weakens the fairies by a lot. LawLiet making sure that there's no expansion and there isn't. No TP anymore. Mana potion invuln. But LawLiet 2 base. For a long time. No tier 3, no orbs though. Oh, LawLiet. Maybe a little misstep approaching the turtles when 1-0 is about to join him. This could be a nasty backstab. As I said, no TP. Floodgates open. Turtle still takes a long time. He wants level 5 so desperately. That's the main goal. But that exposes the tree. Oh, wow. What a time for a lag. How do you salvage this? Turtle will be dead in a bit. How healthy is the tree still? Level 3 life drain. Is that the key to hold? That's the tournament life. If a tree falls, the door is wide open for 1-0 in the grand final. And away we go. How much time is there? LawLiet is right around the corner. Tree of life on the line. Everything in jeopardy for LawLiet. But I don't think he can push through. No, he can't. Life Drain 3. Look at the power of Life Drain 3. How long can the DK stay in there? No chance to nuke the Dark Ranger at all. And the DK HP has vanished. Trying to force him into a TP to still play the 2 base advantage. As Fiends are getting more and more powerful. Web everywhere. 1-0 isn't kiting too well here, I feel. But LawLiet needs reinforcements instantly. Ice armor helps, but there's more ferries from the right-hand side. DR life drain again. Takes some time to get online, but once it's there, it's so strong. If only you could transfer it. Next Fiend down. 1-0 down to 45. Also not missing. He had double crypt. That's amazing. LawLiet losing more. Life drain again. That's the last one. Coil Nova! And he kills him off last second before he's forced into a TP. So beautifully executed. And all of a sudden the supply is even. What a sick tug of war. A huge win for 1-0 with this push. A massive win. And of course, you cannot deny the Coil and the Nova. Dark Ranger needs to be staffed out. She's of course immune to Coil. No tier 3, only 2 upgrades. Is that the problem? Is the Dark Ranger falling off now? Massive Nova. Oh boy. LawLiet running out of steam. A great tournament. Great victories over Moon yesterday. But 1-0 just seems to be... This seems to be too much. Once the defend upgrade kicked in. This was really, really helpful. Town Portal Mana Potion. This is no damage. These ferries are not enough at all. And there's no reveal. Uh-oh. Is this the last we see in LawLiet? In the semi-final, the first one. He's stemming against the defeat. He's trying to get the ferries in. Heal Scroll is not available. Reveal now from the lab. That will lead to some kills. But Dark Ranger 6 is maybe the only way to salvage this. And the DK focus. But that's level 6. And Aura 3 against Mass Air is the best spell you can get for more movement speed. The kiting game continues. Lich, a little exposed. Also 5.6. He got absurd amounts of HP. Trying to nuke the Lich now, but the Fiends are just picking these air units apart. Level 6. Insane. These undead heroes are just insane. And the statue far to the back. LawLiet has nothing left. 1-0, so sturdy. So resilient. Never breaking under pressure. Did LawLiet push too far on the left-hand side? Did he get too greedy? It looks like it. He cues another attack upgrade, but it's just too late. The tree is burning. It's only the heroes and 2 ferries. And that is easily picked apart. You don't want to give this up. A win here in this series quadruples your prize money. So very, very fair to try everything you can. But that was the knockout punch. As we establish one base with an undead supply lead of 25 and a Dark Ranger Naga combo. This was not designed for the late game. This strategy was designed to overwhelm in the mid and play the game from there with a massive advantage. Eer0 is not pushing this too far. No, no. Takes a step back. Probably aiming for an expansion himself now. Never got to tier 3. Never got orbs. And what's the play for LawLiet? Base dives. He has a TP. He has staffs. He might be able to take out a handful of ghouls. Handful of acolytes, but instant TP. 1-0 is not risking anything anymore. Oh no, the Naga! Oh! Staffed out this time. No, not. Oh wow. Oh, she's just dead. Oh wow. And that's game! LawLiet! It wasn't enough. 1-0 grand final. The last place of the group stage advances, and in what fashion? In what great fashion. Was dominated on map 1, never found an opening on Echo Isles at all, but then there was Turtle Rock, then there was the fight into LawLiet's base, and there is where he picked up his momentum. Amazonia was a Da Vinci picture of a creep route, completely outplaying. And Last Refuge. Last Refuge was a risky strategy by LawLiet. And I think an overcommitment on the left lane. It looked good. Until he dove too far. If he pulls back, saves more ferries, then he can play from there, but he got greedy, wanted to kill more fiends. They were all so hurt, I can understand it. But you are not allowed to make these mistakes against 1-2-0 with fiends in his hands. That was tremendous. And you know what, guys? This was the first out of 4 games here today. The next one could just very well be the grand final. The next one is Happy versus Lin. Number 1 in the ELO ranking against number 2 in the ELO ranking. The Emperor is looking for revenge after being defeated by Lin in the group stage. And Lin wants the grand final versus 1-2-0. We'll be right back after a little break. You don't go anywhere.